Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Tuesday, and happy Cinco de Mayo. The first thing I'm going to do for math is I want to go over the two extra problems that I gave you. So I'm just going to show you how you could have worked those out, and the two answers are up here. So if you need to, go ahead and pause it to check your work. And now we're going to move on to fractions. Today we're going to do some adding, subtracting, multiplying, and comparing when it comes to fractions. So let's get started. Our first question is 5/8 plus 4/8. I can see that my two denominators, my two bottom numbers, are the same, so I will keep it the same. I will keep it as eighths. 5 plus 4 is 9. So 9/8 is my answer, partially. Because it's bigger on bottom, bigger on top than it is on bottom, it's an improper fraction, which means I need to break it apart and make it a mixed number. So I know that one whole using eighths would be 8/8. And if I were to take 8/8 from 9/8, I would have 1/8 left over. So I could rewrite that as one whole and 1/8. So that is my answer. Our next problem is another addition problem. So 2/4 plus 3/8. So the first thing I have to check is to make sure my denominators are the same. But this time they're not. I can see I have a 4 and an 8. One of these numbers can easily become the other. So a 4 could easily become an 8. I have to ask myself, 4 times what would give me 8? So that I can have this same denominator. So 4 times what equals 8? 4 times 2 equals 8. And if I'm going to do 2 on bottom, I have to do 2 on top as well. So 2 times 2 is 4. So I know that 2/4 is the same as 4/8. 4/8 plus 3/8. Now I can work out my original problem. 4/8 plus 3/8 equals 7/8. And since it's not bigger on top than it is on bottom, my answer stays at 7/8. Now we're going to move on to subtraction. We're going to do 11/5 minus 6/5. This time I have my denominators are the same, so I will keep that, a 5. And I can ask myself 11 minus 6. 11 minus 6 is 5. So I have 5/5. So right now I could leave it as it is, but it's not, it could be a whole number. So 5/5 is actually the same as 1 whole. So my answer is 1. We're going to do 2 more together. 8 times 2/3. So when I multiply a whole number by a fraction, it's easiest to just put the whole number over 1 so that it's also a fraction. Now I'm going to multiply the top two numbers and the bottom two numbers. So 8 times 2 and then 1 times 3. So 8 times 2 is 16. 1 times 3 is 3. Once again, it's bigger on top than it is on bottom. So I need to make this a mixed number. I can do that by dividing 16 divided by 3. How many times can 3 go into 16? 3 can go into 16 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. I subtract, I get a remainder of 1. And if you remember, you write your remainder as the numerator, and your denominator is the number that you're dividing by, so which would be 3. So your final answer, I'll write it bigger, should be 5 1/3. And our last problem that we're going to work out together is a comparison problem. And then I will give you 2 problems to work out on your own for extra dojos. So the two numbers that we're going to compare are 5/8 and 5/9. Remember, one of the tricks that I taught you is if the numbers are the same on top, whichever number has a smaller denominator is actually the bigger number because it's closer to being one whole. So 5/8 is actually bigger than 5/9 because that's like imagining eating 5 pieces of an 8-piece candy bar rather than 5 pieces of a 9-piece candy bar. So 5/8 is actually bigger. So I will give you 2 more problems. I'll give you one comparison. So let's do 6/11 and 6/13. That will be 1. And let's do 3 times 1/5. So you tell me, what are these 2 answers? If you send them to me or Miss Sweet, you can earn extra dojos along with the homework that you would get credit for just by sending me your homework. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.